Google Meet, Google Doc, Google Sheets, make it stop. You don't need to know it, we gon' bring it to you, show it, cause it's TECHTIP. Get ready, are you ready, cause it's Tech Tip Tuesday.
TECHTIP, hey, give it to 'em, give it Tech Tip Tuesday. TECHTIP, hey, give it to 'em, give it Tech Tip Tuesday.
Hey Bulldogs, Mrs. Smith here with your Tech Tip Tuesday. So next week we have benchmark testing. I know you are super excited for this, but I know that you are going to try your hardest and do your best on these tests. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks, and I brought along my friend, Miss Ligori, our RTI data coach, to help you with how to navigate Linkit in answering some of these questions. So there's a variety of questions on these benchmark exams. Some of them have option buttons like this, okay? When there are option buttons, that means that you can only select one. So when I click on another, it'll automatically deselect, okay? A good test tip, read through all of the answers. When you know something's not it, click the garbage can, okay? So you could use process of elimination in finding the correct answer. Then right here, this is a multi-select question. It's very important. Right here, it says which two details from paragraph 5. Okay, so you need to select two of these. So let's say A and B are the correct answers, and you only click A. It will mark this incorrect, and you will not earn points for this question. So be sure for questions that are multi-select questions, you select two. So one way to tell a difference too, the circles mean that you're just selecting one, okay? So think the circle for the letter O for one, okay? You're only selecting one. And then the boxes, the squares, are for two. Let's use math here. When you say something's squared, that's two, right? So you're going to select two. So that's very important for multi-select, because a lot of the things that we see when analyzing the data shows us that students have problems with multi-select questions and also drag and drops, which Miss Ligori is going to show you all about drag and drops and how to complete those.
All right, boys and girls, I'm going to show you some test tips to use while you're taking a Linkit test. So sometimes when you're on the test, you'll see a question, and then there's this blank box here with an arrow. So the arrow is indicating that there's answer choices down here. So all you would do is click on the arrow, the down arrow, and then scroll down. It says to be sure it is to be, and then I'm select my answer, and then I'm good to move on to my next question. If I change my mind and I think it's something else, I hit the down arrow again, and I can click on a different answer that I want. And I move on to my next. Other options you see are these drag and drop options. And after you read the question, it wants you to drag the words into the correct box. So all I simply will do is take this word and I'll drag it. You'll notice that the boxes turn kind of blue, but I have to make sure I'm right over it and pop it in. Because if I pop too soon, it won't pop in there. So I have to come all the way over here, drop it in. All the way over here, drop it in. Oop, I wasn't completely on that. And let's say I'm looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't seem right. So I can simply drag it out, drag it out, drag it out, and try over, and try it again. Move them to a different spot if I want to. Click on my next. And here it is again, your drop down menu. So click on my arrow, and I'll click on my answer. Drag and drop. So you have to make sure you're really over the box or it won't take the answer. Okay, now sometimes you'll have multiple options that you can choose from. You need to make sure you answer every single box or it will not count. So I go here first and I select my option, select my next option, and select all three. So now I have to make sure that all three are there. If not, you might not get it correct. Same thing, drag, drop.
Thank you so much, Miss Ligori, for showing our students inline responses and drag and drops. So students, I hope that was helpful for you. Again, don't forget Right here, when you see the squares, that means there are multiple answers. You must select more than one. And then when you see the circles, that is your option when there is only one correct answer. So be sure you're following all instructions. You read through all of the questions and then use process of elimination to find your answers. So our benchmark testing dates are next week. On January 25th and 26th, we have ELA in science. And on January 27th and 28th, we have math and social studies. With math, please make sure to close read the math words in your word problems. Check your solution to make sure it makes sense. In ELA or social studies where you're reading passages and you have questions to answer, a little trick is to read all of the questions first before reading the passage so you know what to look for. Please, Bulldogs, try your best. Don't click through these exams. We really want to assess where you are in the curriculum and how much you learned and retained. So please try your best and put in the effort. We want to see your progress. And I know there is going to be huge progress on these benchmarks because that's the Bulldog way. Good luck, Bulldogs, and have a great night.